Hi there, I'm Beth, and this week I've been doing some bulk sewing in preparation for being a BlytheCon UK vendor. You might recognise this fabric and the pattern pieces. I'm using my self-designed autumn fabric and my bib dress pattern too. I'm already working on 2 other videos simultaneously, so I took myself out of the studio and set up a table in the living room to get this sewing started. I'm quite happy spending a day or 2 working on one doll dress, but what I'm calling bulk, which might not seem like a lot to others, is me working on 11 dresses at once. I work out how to get the most out of my very limited fabric and draw out and fray check my pattern pieces accordingly. I cut out all the pieces using a cream cotton fabric for the undershirts and interfacing for the collar facings. I start my assembly by hemming all the skirts and sewing round all the collars. I turn the collars right side out and press them all neat and flat. Next, I snip and turn over all the seams for the bib fronts on the bodices. I add a little fabric glue to hold this in place for the squared ones. The curved front bibs get more snips and will be pressed with the iron too. Perhaps the most fun part is choosing the trims for each dress. I decided to mix up lots of combinations so they're really varied. I cut apart all the pairs of bodice back pieces now and pair them with a front piece. I'll start sewing them together at the shoulders next. My dress bodices now get snipped around the neckline, have collars glued to the seam allowance, and then a facing piece pinned over the front, ready to sew. Once sewn, the facings get snipped and turned to the inside, with the corners being poked out gently. They'll all be pressed with the iron to set in place. Here I've moved on to the sleeves. This is where I made a bad choice and decided to attach all the cuffs first. I gathered and stitched them all, a mixture of long sleeves and short sleeves, puffed at the top or the bottom. Having the lower sleeves all cupped and pre-finished made it very hard to curve them through the sewing machine, so I opted to hand stitch every sleeve into place. The next step is to close in the bodice side seams. After another rummage through my lace trimmings box, I added trim and gathering stitches to all the skirt pieces. I pressed in the seams and the gathers for each one before pairing them with their matching bodice top. I then pinned each skirt and bodice together, wrapping the seam of the skirt back around the bodice so that it will enclose neatly when turned back round the right way. I distribute the gathers evenly and pin before sewing together. They're almost looking finished. Here they are all lined up ready for the next step. I get all my labels ready to sew in after the dresses have had a quick wash to help the gathers sit nicely once dried. They're all dry and have had decorative buttons sewn in as well. I have a sample of stretch fabric with my pattern on it, just enough for a few pairs of socks. Finally, I can put together the packaging for these dress sets and singles. I spent 5 or 6 days putting all these together, which could have been quicker had I not been multitasking so much, but I feel much better now having these ready for the BlytheCon UK in October. I will be printing more special fabrics to make dresses with, which I'll share with you here too. I want to say thank you so much to all my patrons over on Patreon. They're all excited about an upcoming custom doll that I've been showing them there. You'll find the link in the description if you want to have advance notice of dolls and patterns coming up for sale too. I hope you all enjoyed watching my small-scale version of batch sewing, and I hope you'll tell me what you thought of it in the comments below. Why not leave a comment telling me what type of fabric design you'd love to see in doll scale. Until next week, take care. Bye!